morning, good evening, good afternoon, or maybe even good night, and most of all, welcome to day 2 of the International Olympics of Automation Technology here in Nuremberg at the SPS trade show.
Hello everybody.
Before we start, I would like to give you two very, very good reasons to come to Nuremberg today.
Two very good reasons.
Two reasons, I think, maybe we'll find 3 or 4 during the show, but 2 to start.
Go ahead.
First of all, it's food. In Nuremberg, we have Germany's, or at least Nuremberg's, oldest sausage restaurants, Zum Guldenstern. For 600 years, they are making and frying sausages there, so you can have some very nice traditional Bavarian food. The second reason is right here in Hall 7, booth 406, the Beckhoff booth, and we have prepared ourselves to update you in all disciplines of automation technology, motion, vision, I/O, MX system, everything is here with us today. And
let me interrupt you. I have one excellent reason to stay home or to stay at work where you are, because that's the two of us and everybody else today, because this is live and interactive, and we actually bring you all the latest news from the trade show direct to your workplace or to your home office. And if you need to get in touch with us, you can even do this while you're at home, because we have our chat functionality. So use the chat and write in where you are, what you like to know, maybe a technical question. And we have meet@beckhoff.com. And that's an email address where you can also post your questions. And there is a backup team behind us who can answer all technical questions right away. So although you're at home, you're part of the trade show, and we do all the best to let you feel like that.
perfect. Off you go to the first slot. We have a lot of technology, so we need to be fast and sharp.
Excellent. And the first slot is MX, our new, let's say, cabinet-free automation. And you might notice that we talked about MX already yesterday, and it's about these modules here. So we actually have like Lego, and you have modules, you plug it on the base plate, and then the whole system is assembled. This is the easiest way to do automation with the MX system. Now yesterday people asked us, well, mechanically, totally clear and understood, but what about the software? And that's why I invited, hello Friedrich, we are here. We invited our software guys from the MX department to let you know how actually MX system is configured, programmed, diagnostics, and trained. So let's start here, because you told me that this is like a system designer.
Yes.
So what is this? What can I think about system design?
That will be the main entrance point if you want to create an MX system, but you don't know your way around what module do I use, what kind of base plate do they have. So it's like you only need to know your actuators, your sensors, you type them in, and we, or the system designer, derives the modules you need and the base plates you need.
So like we know the motion designer, now we have a system designer for MX. So all the inputs and outputs modules are there, or all the sensors are there? How do I understand that?
So it's the right comparison. The motion designer is like the appropriate part for the MX system. The system designer, we know all our modules, but we do not know all the actuators and sensors.
Yeah.
But the user can enter it. You just have to type in the information from the normal data sheet. And with that information, the system designer can use that input. And if you use that new sensor, we can derive, or the system designer can derive the module you need to use.
Okay, now if I look around the trade show here, I have thousands of sensors and actuators which are supplied. Are they all already in our system designer, or do I enter them all manually?
No, you can enter them manually, and then, well, the database will grow. And at some point, basically, well, all the major sensors and actuators will be present, and you can just drag and drop them into your system.
Okay, and at the end I have a list of all my input and outputs and the sensors, and then I make a click of a button and the base plate is configured, or how is this done?
Yes, that's basically the idea of it. Yeah. You just enter all your actuator sensors, derive the modules, and we create all the rest.
Yeah, but what happens if I have more sensors and actors than the base plate has empty slots?
Well, then the system designer can work with that. You can create new groups. A group is standing for one base plate. Then you create, you can create up to there's actually no limit right now. Yeah. So you can create a lot of groups, a lot of base plates, and then configure them all, build your whole architecture, and the designer will help you with it.
And that means at the end of the day, I have either already the sensors in the system, or I add them manually with the technical values, and then I make a configuration and the layout is done.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, let's see what has happened in TwinCAT, because this is the system designer we do. Now we take a look into TwinCAT, because TwinCAT is also the backbone for our system, right?
Yes, of
So
course.
is this the same TwinCAT as always, or do you have a special TwinCAT?
No, it's always the same. You can really choose like EL or terminals or drives. You can choose your modules from a list and build your own configuration, or you can scan the topology automatically. It's really the same.
So for the TwinCAT user as of today, it is exactly the same setup like he used the EL terminals today.
Yes.
Okay. Now, we wouldn't be Beckhoff if we just do the same again. And of course, we have some extra features which we can use in MX versus our EtherCAT system. So what are the new features?
Yes, of course. One feature is the integrated electronic fuse we have in the modules. We call it eFuse. And the eFuse help us to predict errors, and because we can monitor the current, for example. And yes, that's what would help us to predict errors.
So additional monitoring features in every individual module.
Yeah.
And then I also learned that we do a hot swap now because it is the base plate system. So this is also supported and in TwinCAT that we have hot swap technology.
Yeah, we can exchange modules, like defective modules. We can exchange, put it away, and the modules behind are still running. No problem, the machine can run, and yeah.
Now, I remember when I started my electrical career, I make an apprenticeship as an electrician.
Yeah.
So I actually built cabinets, and a couple of years ago.
Me too.
Yeah, and then I had to monitor the system, and if there was a failure, I used my multimeter. With the cable and attached it to the DIN rail. Now, there's nothing to use my multimeter anymore. So what can we offer to the customer if you want to do on-site diagnostic?
Yeah. Normally we can use TwinCAT. We can use the normally TwinCAT functions like scope or analytics.
Yeah, but this is maybe, well, the monitor is far away, right?
It's far away. Then we can choose our app. We have developed a smartphone app for diagnosis, and that can tell you, Friedrich,
Okay,
can show you more.
because I noticed that there's a little blue light flashing here, Friedrich. So what
Because
is
it's
this
ready
all about?
for connection.
So
Take a look here.
you just take your smartphone, you have an app installed, and now what happened?
Now you can choose their base plate and connect to the base plate.
Okay,
You
so
see
your
all the
app
modules?
is connected via Bluetooth to our base plate.
Yes.
Okay, what is next?
Now you can choose a module. So let's say we go for the input, and then you choose the PDO to see. So this is representing the display of the module right now.
Okay,
And if you push that button,
so I simulate now an action. Yes, and I see input 7, change the color, and now it's changing back. Here we go, okay. So this is connected now through Bluetooth, and every single module can be monitored.
yes,
Okay. Now, Bluetooth is a bit limited in the distance, but is this sufficient for our application?
definitely, because the Bluetooth module is integrated in the base plate.
Okay.
So it's not coming from the master, which might be far away. It's everywhere where you got a base plate. You have the possibility to connect with your mobile device to the base plate and get all the information.
Wow. I mean, this is the easiest way I can imagine. So we talked about easy mechanics, just plug it in. Now we saw the system designer, super simple. We saw our TwinCAT functionality, we had the eFuse, we have monitoring, we have the app. This is amazing what functions we have, and that's what you can expect from Beckhoff at the MX system. Everything is covered by TwinCAT, and that's a good handover to the TwinCAT department with the next topic.
Correct, Roland. I think the MX system is a perfect example that automation is a very, very human technology. So we have the brain, the PC, we have the actuators, the motors, the drives, and in addition, we have the field bus components, the I/O terminals, which is kind of maybe the nerve system of the machine. But there is one thing which is missing, this is seeing. And seeing is something which we want to address in hardware right now. This is something which we will introduce tomorrow in a little bit more detail, but we have the software product TwinCAT Vision for 2.5 years now. Many applications have been realized. Michael, what can you tell us? What are the advantages of having TwinCAT Vision?
Yeah, it starts with some simple applications like we see here with the edge detection and goes up to a several camera system with very complex inspections. And the main advantage is based on our deep integration. So on one hand, we see the integration in the engineering environment where you don't need any other additional tools. You can configure the cameras inside the same system manager and program it directly. And on the other side, the advantage of the real-time execution, we also see it here, is the precise synchronization between axis and our trigger points. And we don't need any interfaces to other additional systems anymore, so that saves a lot of time.
Okay, so just with Xplanar, just like XTS, just like any other product, Vision is a function module inside TwinCAT which easily interacts with the other existing function modules. For example, the motion technology where you can easily synchronize. Correct, right? What are the further advantages of the deep integration? So there are so many functions in TwinCAT. How do we interact with the rest of them?
Yeah, it starts with the possibility to select your programming language. So you can use the SPS languages, and now you can also choose between C++ and MATLAB Simulink. We have a direct integration into the TwinCAT scope. And we perfectly interact with the HMI, as we can see it here with the image displayed, and all the other tools that we offer for connectivity. So that we benefit that everything is integrated and you don't need to program any interfaces, and we make sure that everything works together perfectly.
Okay, I think that's also quite a democratic process, so vision programming actually becomes more and more accessible for automation engineers who are used to structured text maybe, and who don't have a special apprenticeship in vision. So I think that's a very, very positive news, because everybody really can then use it. What to expect in the next month and years from the TwinCAT Vision portfolio?
So what we present here on the fair for the first time is a function for optical character recognition. So this allows you to read best before days and check lot numbers as a starting point. And another highlight that we present here is the first integration or the combination from vision and analytics. So you can use all the analytic benefits to just drag and drop the tools, and in the end also generate code if you don't like to program it yourself.
Okay, so the functionalities, the scope of the functionalities is growing. You can now figure out if something is over the good date or not. And I think this is a very nice message, especially in conjunction with the hardware which we are going to introduce tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow and please send us questions as always. Now from the eyes of the machine back to the muscles. I think Roland is standing with Michael Pfister to talk about rotary motors.
Well, and when we talk about the muscles, I need powerful colleagues with me. That's why Michael is here. And of course, we talk about our motor product line. Motors are well known in the industry. There are tons of motor manufacturers. Nevertheless, we decided years back that we want to produce our own motors, design our own motors and manufacture them. So what were the key reasons for this development, Michael?
Motors are responsible for every kind of movement inside of the machine. For example, linear or also rotative. And about this one is an elementary part of the machine construction. The numbers of motors are growing dramatically for each machine and each year. To reach the market demands, we decided to produce our motors by themselves in case of a long-term availability and to be able to react on customer demands.
Yeah, but on top of that, I think we also found a way to even improve the performance of the motor, because simply said, we have just more copper inside than others, correct?
That is correct. One of the most topic what we have to during our development phase is a high copper fill factor inside. This means a high power density is the result of this one. High power density, for explanation, is highest possible torque on the lowest installation space.
Okay.
You can realize.
That means inside here, basically, we have the highest density of copper, and that brings us the higher power output, correct?
Exactly. But this is not only the only topic of this one. This is also a well-designed modular design what we have of this motor. About this one, we are completely flexible for the market demands. We have split it in 3 sections, this motor. So in the front section, the middle section, and the back section. And about this one, we can realize every kind of mechanical interface, every kind of windings, and every kind of connections, for example.
And connection is a good topic, because that also brings us to OCT, to the one cable technology, because this was also state of the art when we developed the motors.
Yeah, this was really a revolution 11 years ago on this affair. We present the OCT. OCT stands for One Cable Technology. And nobody have it, so we bring it inside of the market. We eliminate the feedback cable, so we have only one cable. And right now we can tell you 95% of our whole production is with OCT, so we are setting really a market standard in this case.
And then if we listen to the customer and we have a modular design, we can do adaptations, and that's what we have at the next wall here. So sometimes we even create a new motor, correct?
Yes, this is also very important for us. We told you, we have every time new demands. A good example is, for example, the AMI. The AMI, we would like to go to the customer in this case, and we will present him our standard solutions. But the standard solution does not fit for this customer. Customer have clearly demands in case of torque, speed, accuracy, safety functions. And about this one, we have developed the AMI. So we have integrated the electronic. So we are a very strong electronic producer combined with our motor. And not only the AMI is a result of this one, also the motors inside of the Atro systems, for example, comes from us.
So from an idea to a new standard product, and that's a perfect handover to my next topic, and that's about our XTS system. XTS came also from an idea, our extended modular transportation system, where we actually can transport tiles in a circle. And XTS is now a standard product, and still, year by year, we have extensions to the product line. And it's so amazing that after we heard about OCT, one cable technology, I like to talk with Rob now about NCT, no cable technology. So what is the secret of no cable technology, Rob?
So with the no cable technology, what we've done here is on the normal or extended XTS module, we've used the other side that we didn't have a function for before. That's now providing us power and data to the mover.
Yeah.
So we can do all kinds of different things with the mover now.
Yeah, but power to the mover, but there's no cable, right?
There's no cable.
So we transport from the track up to the mover energy and data.
Yep.
And now what have you put on here? So what is the use case?
So, and we've shown this a little bit before in the past that we've had the vacuum pumps on the system, right? Customers are now starting to see, oh, okay, I can do things with it. So if I put a vacuum pump on it, can I do some pick and place? Could I pick some membranes? You know, and other various ideas. So now it's starting to get out there, and they say, with this, maybe I can change my process so that I'm doing things in flow rather than bring it to another station, do something here.
And there is enough power really from our XTS track to the mover to operate the vacuum pump.
Exactly, so we get 30 watts constant, 75 watts peak.
Well, that's
so it gives us really things that we can do with it. So it real actual functionality. If I need a 2 amp output, it's there.
So I think when we announced XTS 10 years ago, this was a revolution already. This is, from my point of view, like a next revolution because with the NCT technology.
Exactly. Even 10 years ago, customers came to us and said, well, that's great, but how can I make something happen on the mover?
Yeah.
And it's taken time, but now we're able to do it.
Yeah. Well, and that means for you as a customer, start rethinking your application. We like to offer you the technology, and you can change the way you process things or you operate your machine. That's a perfect example now to hand over to our sales, because all the technology need to touch base in your country. And I'm really happy that Felix is next to Duilio, our Italian general manager, and he will talk about sales aspect and EtherCAT in Italy. Let's go.
Okay, thank you very much, Roland. Hans talked yesterday a little bit about the big portfolio of Beckhoff, that there are always innovations and that our customers expect and demand innovations from us. And to bring these innovations to the customers, we need real automation specialists in our sales team. And Duilio, you are one of our automation sales specialists. You are responsible for the activities in Italy. Maybe you can share a little bit, what does it mean being an automation specialist at Beckhoff in your daily life?
Yeah. We have presented so many highlights at this trade show that we can definitely say that we are an innovation-driven company. But first of all, we are a customer-centric organization. This means that we establish with our customer a trust-based relationship. We sustain our customers on their ongoing and future developments. With our old highlights, we support them to maintain, to keep their series machine. And with our new highlights, they start designing the next generation of machines. And of course, we do talk about with our customers about long-term availability of our products, and they appreciate this. Imagine that there are customers that nowadays, along with new products, they still buy products that have been bought all over 20 years, and therefore this is really much appreciated by our customer.
Okay, so it's not only technology, it's also availability, it's also machine designs. And like with all these things, and especially the things which happened in the past, how do we make sure that your customers get the best advice on using an XTS system with NCT technology, but also on how to use a 20-year-old Beckhoff IPC?
Yeah, that's right. I think that in the end of the day, we are technical and technological driven people. And we are fixers. We help customers to fix their issues with a very lean organization. We bring always around the table the correct people. These might be a product expert, market or industry expert, and of course, people and gentlemen like you from the headquarters to sustain, to win our customers.
Which is always super fun for us because Italy always has very, very challenging machine builders. A couple of weeks ago we had I think an 8-hour meeting where we discussed in every detail on Xplanar. Very, very fun, also very, very challenging. Last but not least, we are standing here at the Beckhoff booth, lots of highlights. Is there one technology where your customers can't get around when they talk with you?
Well, it's very difficult and complicated to reply to this question because there are so many technologies and products that customer may use to improve. But first of all, I think that EtherCAT is definitely a key differentiator. It's a future-proof technology. First, because it is the fastest field bus in the marketplace. And this is well explained by the working principle of the protocol. Indeed, the telegram goes through each individual node, participant in the network, and processing on the fly, reading and writing by each node is allowed on the fly. This, of course, reduce the cycle time for executing communication. And along with the distributed clock technology, you can really accurately synchronize all the nodes. But of course, then if you are a machine builder and then you adopt a powerful, strong PC-based control with high computing power and a fast EtherCAT field bus, you can definitely run your machine faster. You can improve productivity in terms of, for instance, of throughput. There is also another second element.
Okay.
Beckhoff invented in 2003 EtherCAT, and since then the EtherCAT technology group has become the largest field bus organization in the world, and this means something because nowadays they have more than 6,900 members along vendors and users. Yeah. This means it's the most common used by vendors EtherCAT field bus protocol, and therefore, well, of course, we may say that given that we invented EtherCAT, we know it better.
Okay, Giulio, I think if you ever want to leave Beckhoff Italy for another job, you will get the job at the EtherCAT Technology Group. Thanks for the very deep dive. Have a nice day at the fair and talk to you later. I will now have to transition to Friederike for the last words of today. I think this camera is now looking at me, at least I hope. And we talked about EtherCAT, we talked about technology, but there are also some challenges in the world right now, which, concern all of us, and I think. So, Friederike, the prices for everything are going up. So, I personally recognize the most that butter is getting more expensive. Yeah. But besides this, it's also energy and the things which we use to manufacture our products. How does inflation actually influence a company like Beckhoff?
Yeah, if I want to get a proper example, I could probably tell about that a couple of hours. But as you said, it affects every one of us in our personal lives. And of course, as a company, we realize it because we have higher energy costs, the prices on the market. If we go to our purchase department and they need to buy whatever we need to produce, of course, these prices are increasing as well. And as you know, for the first time in our 42 years history, we had 2 price increases within the last year, as we need at least a part of the increases we face also give to our customers. Otherwise, it would get interesting at the end of the year on a financial basis. But by saying all of this, let's talk about positive things we are undertaking.
Very positive is that we are able to make sure that we still deliver PCs and I/O terminals and everything, despite all the challenges. Maybe you can take us a little bit on the journey of what we are doing to make sure that actually the EL terminals, the IPCs, are coming out of our doors and fast.
Yeah, definitely. That's an important point. And I mean, all of you out there, you're facing this challenge together with us. And first of all, I want to thank you for understanding the quite critical situation as it is today. But as you said, there are a lot of positive things going on or went on for the last 2 years. And first of all, I would like to mention that we did everything to be able to increase our internal capacities in our production facilities by 50%. Meaning, if we would suddenly be flooded by a lot of semiconductors and all the necessary raw materials we need, we would be able to increase our production by 50%. Keeping in mind that we already increased our production during the last 2 years, about 28%, 25% per year, and we could add another 50%. So I think this is the first really important message I would like to give to you. Secondly, we increased our warehouse, our raw materials on stock dramatically. This is true for 97% of all our products. But then we have the missing 3%, which, as you all know, the semiconductors, they are quite critical goods at the moment. And because we're still missing those, we also did or undertook a lot of actions. First of all, our international broker scenarios, you are part of it as well. So we have 150 colleagues in our HQ, usually not part of our purchase department, who we kind of shifted to these resources to find materials somewhere in the world. This is the first things we did. And the second thing, the redesigns, you know about it as well. So we do a lot of redesigns these days. And we do it to find a solution, a temporary solution for all of you. Our sales people all over the world, they are quite aware of it, and we need to do it now. We need to take the new redesigns on a temporary base, and hopefully in a couple of months, respectively 1 to 2 years, we will be able then to deliver all our usual products, let's put it in this way.
Yeah. And I can tell you that redesigns is sometimes a very frustrating thing, because the semiconductor market is so unpredictable.
Yeah,
we had the redesign of one Explanar PCB, where we switched out one part because the supplier said us, you won't get it for the next 1.5 years. We did the redesign, everything went through, no interruption in the production. 4 weeks later, we got a batch for 2 years. So that's crazy and completely unpredictable. And doing this, doing the redesigns, ordering this, adding, by the way, 100% more SMD lines to our capacity, which is from 15 to 28, this costs a lot of money. And I think there are some further aspects besides these fast and immediate reactions which really make Beckhoff a crisis-proof partner for all our customers in the world. And I think you have some things to say about that as well.
Yes, you mentioned already a lot of points, but maybe to summarize it, everything, because we are privately owned, I think we have some advantages other companies might not. First of all, we are really flexible. You know that from your own, all the colleagues here know it, and we trust a lot of colleagues to have a huge variety of flexibility. So they can be really, on a short notice, really agile. Meaning that whenever we decide, okay, we need to buy something for a huge amount on the broker market right now, it's just basically a call to my dad and saying, we found this is the increase of the price, can we take it or can we not? So the decision lines, they are quite short, and therefore we are really fast in how we can make decisions. The same applies, by the way, not only for crisis, but also if we develop products, right? So also there we can be really flexible and fast. And secondly, what really important is, as we're privately and family owned, the financial situation for us, it's quite relaxed, because we are looking always in the future, within the next couple of years, what will happen. So we're undertaking investments today to invest in our future in 5 years. Of course, at the end of the year, we also need to make sure that our financial, our balance sheets, they're looking good, no doubt about that. But still, we're doing investments now to make sure we are safe in the future. And with this long-term perspective, I think it is really important that we do that, because we are taking care of what happens within the next 5 years, and not only what happens tomorrow or in the next year.
Yeah,
and
I think it's also a very important point, looking on innovations, you just mentioned it. So it would be pretty hard to make a business case in the first place for MX system, for the Explanar system, for XTS. So you really have to have this long-term approach, and that's why our customers can trust on us as a partner for innovation and for supplying automation components.
I hope so.
And I think now Roland is getting nervous.
Yes. You forgot something, because when you started your career at Beckhoff, Friederike, you were actually part of the embedded PC product development team.
True. Yep.
And I can promise you at home that tomorrow we will actually present 2 new embedded PCs.
Yes, that's right.
Maybe we can invite you again to present them as well.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward for that. So Andreas Thome, our colleague from tomorrow, you introduce it, who is, by the way, in the company since
32
longer.
years.
22 years?
32.
32.
Yes.
I'm turning 30, so longer than I live. He's in the company, by the way. And he's introducing 2 more embedded PCs tomorrow. And as you know, for over 20 years now, we are in the embedded PC department. We basically were kind of the people of the company who also invented them. And I think even still now, bringing more innovation in this product department on the market, I think this is not usual, right?
No,
and I think it's something really outstanding. And yeah, be prepared for tomorrow and have a look at them as well.
That's the best pitch we could get for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Many thanks for listening all around the world. We got so many greetings from all countries in the world. So thanks for joining us today. This was the best reason to listen. You can still come to the show, or you can come to the Bratwurst sausage store downtown. But we are back tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the morning with Live in EtherCAT. Thank you and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you.